Yo, 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 what's the dealio, man? Listen, you already know I got a straight banger for you, all right? In this video, we're gonna do a market recap, all right, and also a month recap as well, all right? We had a crazy June, and we're going into July tomorrow, all right? So June is historically a bullish month, and it lived up to it, all right? 2 months ago, the market was crazy. It was down. It was depressed. Everybody was afraid, and now the whole market has recovered. And halfway through the year, the market has surpassed all-time highs. All right. Now, are we out of the clear? I don't think so. Right. We got this tariff situation coming up in like a week or so. But also, besides that, I just think that a pullback is going to be imminent, and we're going to go into the charts. I got 5 stocks I'm going to review today, things that happened today in the market. All right. So before we get into this video, I want to say, be sure to join in Discord because we're going to do a double your account challenge. All right. We're going to focus on doubling your account by doing a couple simple things. All right. We got everything mapped out and all of that good stuff. So if you want to join in Discord and you want to double your account a methodical way and not gambling, then be sure to join the Discord. You get a 7-day free trial. All right. So with all that being said, we got, I want to talk about SPY, IWM, Apple, Hood, and Meta. All right. Now, these stocks, well, the whole market, we had some moves, a couple moves that were made intraday earlier in the day, but a lot of the moves was made towards the end of the day. All right. A lot of the price action that I was seeing, it was real slow. All right. I didn't see a lot of volume happening except with a couple of stocks. All right. Now, one of the stocks that had a tremendous amount of volume, I've been making videos about this. I've been talking about this since it was about in the $40 range. Is Hood, Robinhood, okay? Robinhood is a pioneer. Robinhood is, they're involved in the crypto sector, all right? And they one of them ones, all right? So let's look at Robinhood. Let's look at what happened, all right? We're going to share the screen, and let's look at Robinhood. All right. Now, if you look at Robinhood, look where it ended at today, $93. Okay. Go to the daily real quick. This stock right here is just a monster. Look at that. Very few pullbacks. Every time you think a pullback is happening, nope, you get one of these days right here. Okay. So Robinhood is just one of them stocks. All right. Look at that. All right. Cup, handle, boom. All right. Broke out of right here. That thing been off to the races ever since it broke $66. It's really been off to the races since down here, all right? When you look at it, just look at it on a daily. It has a couple red days, but when you're looking at this trend right here, it does not have a lot of red days compared to how many green days it's had, all right? Robinhood is crazy, but they had an event today. The event went well. They had an event a couple months ago as well, and Robinhood is just a stock. It's one of them ones. Okay, I would not buy into this stock right now when we're talking about shares. Okay, I would wait until it comes down. But this stock right here, this is a powerful stock. All right, if you look at the, let's go to like the 15-minute. You go to the 15-minute time frame, and you could just see the trend. All right, look at that trend. Crazy move here, and then boom, right? We had a pullback, and then it's just been trending up all day. All right. This is one of them days for Robinhood that this could make you a lot of money. All right. I got a little piece of this move right here. I didn't get the whole day's move, but it was a good one. All right. And I think that tomorrow we probably gonna see $100 sometime this week with all the momentum that Robinhood has. All right. I wouldn't be surprised if we did hit $100 this week. All right, and once we hit 100, that's a psychological level. We could go to 102, 105. All right, so that's Robinhood. Another stock that I want to talk about is going to be Apple. All right, look at Apple. Okay, look what happened. Okay, this is crazy. All right, for the whole day, it just consolidated. Right, it had a little small move here. A little small move there. Nothing crazy, right? It went from 201.94 to 200, right? And then it just chopped around and then boom, all right? So with Apple, they said that they were gonna have a partnership with Siri, an AI partnership, and so something going on with Siri. Once this news came out right here, that thing blasted off. All right, that thing blasted off. All right, so that was crazy to see with Apple right there. Now, if you go to Meta, so what Meta did was they gapped up. So they was at here, they gapped up right here. All right, so they broke above all-time highs. All right, so now we're sitting at all-time highs. So we're going to see what happens tomorrow with Meta and also this next month because the month of July is over. But they did break above all-time highs right here. All right. So, I mean, I think that a pullback obviously is going to happen at some point in time. But Meta is one of them stocks also. It's a freight train. Like it don't stop. When it gets going, it goes crazy in both directions. All right. So Meta is not a stock that you want to really bet against. All right. Meta is a very, very powerful stock as well. All right. And then let's go to the indexes. We got SPY. Now look at SPY. SPY did nothing today, but that last hour. All right. That last hour was the move that everybody was waiting for. All right. I think that it's because it was the end of the month and they wanted to have SPY end above all-time highs. All right. Because if you look at the daily time frame, it had came here 614 and it had touched right here 616. And then during the day, it was at 615. So I think that they wanted the stock to post above all-time highs, right? And that's why you see 617, 617.90 is where it closed at. All right. So that's where the SPY closed at today. All right. Above all-time highs to end the month off of June. And then you got IWM. IWM ain't do nothing today. All right. Look, it just chopped around. All right. If you traded IWM today, you got caught. All right. You probably lost some money. Unless you got lucky on like these two candles right here. But you probably lost some money with IWM because this right here, this ain't nothing but a whole bunch of chopping consolidation. All right, so the goal is to not get caught up in this right here. All right, the goal is to be able to catch the stock outside of here or outside of here and really be able to catch a move where you can make some solid money, some solid bread. All right. So now those are the stocks that happened today. Now, what I think they did was because June is a bullish month in the stock market, they wanted to finish the month off bullish, right? And so certain stocks at the end of the day, they had like little runs. I was looking at HIMS, it wasn't doing nothing all day. And in the last hour, it went up. What else? Well, I think Google did that. A couple other stocks did that, okay? NVIDIA was it had a move to the downside and then it kind of chopped around a little bit as well. But because we're at all-time highs, I'm really thinking that we may go a little bit higher. We may start off July cool, but I think there's that at some point in time in July, there's going to be some type of cool down period, and there's going to be a rug pull, and then investors are gonna change. They're gonna do a sector rotation. They're gonna take some profits out of like tech, and then they're gonna put it in a different sector. All right. I think it might be going into like medical. Okay. Because one thing that I'm looking at is United Healthcare, right? And I think that they're getting ready to go up now, right? So let's go to UNH real quick. If we go to UNH on the daily time frame, let me find their ticker real quick. Okay, look right here. Okay, check them out. So UNH, right? You see that they opened up right here, came down, bounced up. All right, had a pretty strong move right there, and then they trended up and they closed a little bit higher, right? Now, if you go to the daily time frame, look what happens. All right, you go to the daily time frame. They just been kind of consolidating in this little area right here. All right, but now they're above this right here, this 21 EMA. I think that we're gonna see UNH, make a move, and UNH is going to end up coming up to about 346. All right, it's going to end up filling this gap, but I think that we could see it make a real solid move, even maybe potentially this week. Okay, but I think that the money is going to start going into a different sector, and so you just got to find out what sector that money is going into. All right, now let's look at things on a monthly perspective. All right, so if you look at the monthly on like the SPY. All right, look at the SPY, okay? It's just up here in no man's land, all right? So if we want to look at it going into next month, like what's going to happen next month, it looks like it's going to be continued bullish, but I think that at some point in time we're going to have a pullback. All right, somewhere within this month we're going to have a pullback. We don't know what week it's going to be, but we will have some type of pullback because the market ain't going to just keep going up, right? We're going to have some day where we're negative 3-4% on the day with the SPY. Okay, you look at IWM. I think IWM next month can come and touch potentially like 230. I think that IWM could come and touch 230. If you look at it right here, we at 216. It came from 205 to 216, so it moved about $10 this month in June, and then in May it was at 204 and 195, so it moved another $10. So I think that next month we could see about 225 on IWM. All right, 225, 227. All right, if we get another $10 move next month. All right, so that's IWM and QQQ, something very similar to SPY. All right, we're gonna have some type of pullback, but if they start selling out of tech, then this is gonna be coming down. All right, when we're talking about the QQQ. All right, let's look at HIMS. HIMS had a bad month. It had a red month, but I think that HIMS is definitely going to rebound for the long term. All right, looking at the monthly, yeah, we just had a bad month, but they did bounce up here, so we're kind of like in the middle, right, between the buyers and the sellers right here. We're in the middle between the buyers and the sellers. So next month we're gonna see what happens. They are buying a lot of puts on HIMS, but there's also a lot of calls being bought on HIMS as well. Okay, so all in all, I think that with all the stocks that you've been seeing that's been running up, they've been they're gonna come down. What goes up must come down. So don't be ignorant to the fact that you think that it's just gonna keep going up. All right, when you trading and you investing, you always want to wait for a pullback. Okay, really, and when you investing, you always want to wait for a certain percentage pullback. Okay, you got to define that. Is it a 15% pullback, a 10% pullback, whatever the case may be? But when you're thinking about trading, you want to wait for a pullback. Okay, never buy at the top of something. All right, never buy at the top of something. Always remember that. Wait for a pullback, and then you take your entry, and then you could ride it up. Because if you get in up here and then it pulls back, you probably gonna end up getting out, and then it's gonna end up going past your target. But if you wait for the pullback, you're gonna get in here. You can ride it up to where it just came from, right? Make your money, and then when it goes past that, you're gonna be able to make more money. All right. So always remember, wait for a pullback. Okay. Be sure to join the Discord to join our account growth compounding challenge. If you want to do a one-on-one, click the link in the description. We can schedule a one-on-one. And like I always say, make sure you get up out of your head and go get into this world, because your head is a dangerous place to live. All right. And also remember, the more you study, the less you worry. All right. I'm going to see you guys on the next video. Tomorrow is July. Let's get it. All right. Peace.